guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another episode of the series Chronicles of the Pastor's Kid. If you've not watched that video, please ensure to like it and watch it. Here with me, I have two new people, Joy by my right hand side and Lucy by my left hand side. So straight to business, we're going into the questions. The first question is, do you find it offensive if they use your personal experiences at home as an example in church? Now this, I have seen this happen almost all the time. Oh, my daughter did this, my son did this, like things that happen at home, maybe during the week, and then you use it in service. Like, do you find it offensive, or you just feel like it's normal, or you don't just feel anything?
Yeah, so let me answer that. It's a very good question, but let me see. I don't really. It depends on the context to which it's used. For example, if you are making good examples of because one side you say my son is the this of the this, and in first class you get all those kind of sweet examples. So yes, but when they are now using the bad parts, showing us stuff from the process, those kind of examples, no. So yeah, it depends on the context to which they use me as an example.
So, any other contribution?
To me personally, I don't think I like being known. Like, I don't think I want my private life to be out there, and it makes me feel like when I'm walking, maybe after service, they'll be looking at me like, so you're shaking, this girl stop on the board, or even this girl graduated with first class. I don't think I love my personal life to be out there. So to me, it's not very comfortable.
I think what I want to say is that there are some times that, like, a family has to be family. Things about family, you're not supposed to get into your ministry. Yes, it's good. Sometimes they make examples, and I also don't like his own context. It's not every time I don't feel like. Sometimes when I go to church, I don't really like. I don't sit close to my father. Like where I'm sitting down is not where he's sitting down, because I don't want them to say, don't say don't say any. This is the past. I am my person. Like, because there are years when you now start looking at me and judging me and just leave me the way I am. So like I don't like it.
Personally, I'm not sure I have a problem with it. It depends on the context in which they gave the example. Like Shane said, they are giving the example as a form of testimony. Let's say I used to be this, and because of so and so that happened, this is the testimony for me. So if you can use it as a lesson for people to learn, I don't think I really mind. Or if it's going to bless people, I don't think I really mind. Or if it's something that I did bad, I would want that they would have corrected me at home before coming to church to come and use me as an example. So I will not really be embarrassed because I've been corrected by my parents and all of that. So I don't really mind them using me as an example. It just depends on how they say it or the context they use. And they can even use me as an example but make it anonymous. So
for me, I feel I wouldn't really say I have a problem with it, because sometimes when my mom is speaking and she's mentioning something, I feel like, it's me that she's talking about, but they won't know it's me. Or even sometimes when she mentions my name, some people hardly shall, but like I don't really have a problem with it, but I just feel like if I do something wrong and you want to make an example of it, you have to have spoken with me at home first, and then it depends on your approach on how you say it, because for a long time people didn't know that my father was my father. I will come back and then I'll be going to his office and I'll be like, what are you looking for here? And I'll be like, oh, my father is so and so. I'll be like, oh, so yeah, this is father. I'll be this is daughter. They didn't even know that my dad had a daughter. They thought it was just my brother. So I feel like it just depends, because it now opens the kind of creates an opening for the congregation to have an idea of what's going on in your family. I just feel like one has to be wise about whatever example they're going to use. That's it.
So personally, I feel like there are a lot of times where parents, pastors, sometimes they don't know how to separate family from church. They feel like everything is together. Yes, the church is a family, but then I feel like there are some things that should just stay indoors, like just stay behind the doors of the house. Don't take it to church. But then I've seen people that I don't mind. But then there are times that I just feel like family should be family. This is not supposed to even be outside. So yes, somehow.
Okay. In addition to what David said earlier and what he said earlier too, context-wise, using myself as an example, there was a time we had an argument. You know, this whole Nigeria's economy shit and everything. So financially wise, our finances, family's finances was budging my dad. So we didn't sort out that issue out. I think we were demanding for money, not demanding as in demanding, but we were asking for money to do important things, and he saw it as a burden on himself. And we get it, but we didn't sort it out in the house. When he was now to preach a sermon in church, one way or the other, he still had it on his mind. So either intentionally or unintentionally, just spewed it out, and the way he even molded it just. So it depends, right? It depends on the context. Then, if it's something that has been corrected earlier, if it's something that you and your child already have an understanding of it, then using it as an example wouldn't bother the child. But then, if you've not sorted it earlier, it could serve as an avenue to create a get there.
Is there any other thing? No. So next question: did your parents being pastors ever affect their time for the family?
Yes.
Very heavy question.
Yes.
Yes. For me, no.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in different
For me,
Not
no.
as much.
Oh,
Me,
that's
yes.
so cute. Me, yes.
Yes,
Me,
because
no.
Almost if you are a redeemed child here, Monday church, Tuesday church. He got to a point that my daddy now said he's going to go because he started telling on his health. He's like he's going to go for the one he can't go for. Like because every Sunday of the month there's program. Like my father is leaving church after heading his own church, he's going to another church. I'm like, because I was like the other day I was calling my dad from school, like he said they are in church. That Sunday I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, love your strength. The next Sunday they are in church. I'm like, come now every day now they get meeting. I was like, oh, that's what they see him. So like it doesn't like it, the only time like my father is now someone that works Monday to Friday. He's always in the office. So where is the time? My mom works 7 to sometimes come back home because of our distance of our workplace. So like there is no time. We only get this little time in the night, and when they come back from church, they are in their room. So it doesn't allow it doesn't just give for parents. Like yeah, it actually does affect.
For me, no, it didn't, because even though right now, we live because the distance from my house to church is like an hour 15 minutes drive on a Sunday morning. So that's different. So on a Sunday morning, we leave the house like around 6, get to church around like 7. If you leave 6, you should get to the church maybe 7:15, 7:30. And most of the time, my dad has me like I have left the church by 8 o'clock in the night before. But regardless of Sunday situations, I feel like there's always been time because I wasn't born as a pastor's child. So it was while I was growing up that I became one. And even when I became one, I just feel like my parents always had it at the back of their mind to always create time. I feel like my dad was even more around than my mom was. So there was just the time. There was just time, even though for secondary school I was in boarding school, so it was even me that was not around. Maybe for holidays I would just be back. But I just feel like there had always been time. There was not a moment that I would need them and they would not be, even though they were busy people, they just always created time for me.
I also wanted to ask what she said. Personally, I do not really feel, even though my dad was a pastor, we have 3 services a week. In that 7 days also, it's also a Bible school lecturer, so he teaches in the Bible school. Even at that, in all of that, my mom teaches, where my mom teaches, she's a civil servant, but where her primary assignment is very far. It's like from here to, it's very far, like 1 hour every day. But I feel like it's not about the quantity of time they spend with me, but the quality of the time they spend. I can really see this and this and this with the time that we laughed, we joked, probably during holiday, especially this lockdown. Yeah, first time in my life when my father played ball. I didn't know how to play ball. You get, so I feel it was not necessarily about the quantity of time we had together, but it was about the quality of time we had together.
For me, I felt like it took out of their time with us too, because I'm in Redeem. Normally, every week we have services on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, then on Sundays. Then the Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, extra programs to come. The day of divine possibility, the day of this, the day of that. So I used to think that okay, any day that is not Tuesday and Thursday, maybe when they come back from work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they'll have time for us. But they'll say they have one meeting or they have something to go and do. Sometimes I used to be like, Daddy, can't you stay at home? Are you not going somewhere? Are you not going? Must you go somewhere? And I used to feel selfish somehow for asking for my dad's time when he has to be working in church or doing something like that. On some Saturdays, I'll be like, my dad will be at home today, then he'll be like, he's going to church. I'll be like, Daddy, don't you rest? But he'll go to church. During lockdown now that Sean said that his dad had time that they played ball, I was being like, during this lockdown, my dad will be at home, my mom will be at home. That's how they transferred us to, they started going to church, even during the lockdown. They will go and do one meeting, the church people even came to meet us in our house. They came to our house. And at a point, it was not just for me. It started telling on their health because I wanted them. So the stress was getting too much. So I wanted them to be able to rest and have time to stay at home. So there are sometimes they don't have time for us because of the church activities and all of that.
I don't know how to say this way, but like the fact that they gave birth to me like the person. They were already a person before they gave it to me. So I think I already grew up with that mentality. I got used to it. So I don't really see a difference that, okay, are they giving me time or they're not giving me time? But if it's with my mom, I know for sure, yeah, I had quality time with my mom. And to an extent, I had quantity time with my dad. But now with my dad, I can have quantity time with my dad, but it's not giving quality. And I feel like I'm the type of person like I'm very researched in a way. Something can be bothering me, but I still don't know how to say it. So sometimes it will take them being there for a very long time for you to be able to talk. But if you're like, okay, they're ready here, we are. After calculating everything in your head and you're ready to talk, then anonymity comes from they go, and you're like,
So,
I'm again with myself. So I think like I was already used to it from the beginning, but quality time with my mom, yes.
For me, my mom is just everything. Mommy gave me all the time. She gave us all the time. We are 3 years. She gave us all the time, all the attention, like everything you needed. Yes, anything you need, Jenny. Everything. Mommy just had time. Like I think 13, 14. I can't really remember the age exactly, but then I was sure above my 10 when my mom got ordained. Before then, mommy had quality, quantity, everything she had it for us. And the fact that I grew up with my family, I grew up with my mom's side, I don't know, I just didn't feel any lack of time. My aunties were always there, my uncles, my grandparents, like everybody was just together. So I didn't really feel like I was starved of family time during.
I'm sorry, I'm feeling that no
Wow. So next question. Do you think being a pastor should affect family time?
It should not, though.
It should.
Because your family, you're a father before you became a pastor. Even though the child was
We are
born.
also sheep. You are a shepherd. We are also sheep.
Yeah,
You are
it's
your
not
first sheep.
at all, because family is like, I don't know, people tend to not understand the importance of family. Family can make you, family can marry you. Like, family is just like, I was telling someone that I have a great family. The person was like, oh, lucky you. When they're supposed to have great family, like, it's not even about, at least sometimes it's not even about being a pastor's kid or not. It's like
Generally.
family, and sometimes your family is as if you should not even have family. The kind of family that some people have is like they don't regard them because left trouble, right trouble. That's why people tend to detach from their family. They want to have their own space. So the family.
And I
Please
feel
make them
like,
for your family.
and I feel like if you can control your family, you can control the church.
Yeah.
But if you can't control like the small family,
Even the small ones.
like you're starving the small family, it's I don't know, how do you want to run the church? Even if you run the church, it will still lack some kind of thing. Because it is only when you can give some things to your family that you are able to give to the outside church, to the members. But then if you're actually not giving your family that thing, that love, that support, that attention, and you're actually giving it to the church, it's not giving.
It's like you're prioritizing.
Yes.
Yes.
You're not saying that they are not important or something, but they are very, very important. But like, who is to be your offspring? Like, we are number one.
Yes,
We're actually number one.
because
Yes,
it's
we're number one.
us. At the end now, that church is kita. You say, it's not that pastor's child, and you are like giving yourself names because you say, you cannot take care of his
family.
You
Why
must come and control us.
Control
So,
us.
I feel like maybe they just think that okay, my child will just automatically just
Sprung up
be a spiritual person, be strong in Christ, but you're actually supposed to be able to actually steward the fact that make sure that the child is a
That's
Christian.
why I
But then
think
they will just put all their attention in the congregation, then neglect hence this conversation we're even having, and now neglect the children. I think that it's even just the church that needs the spiritual.
We also need it.
Yes,
Need the
exactly.
More
watching.
than good morning, Jesus.
My dad always tell me if I'm supposed to do something, he'll say if you've not done it for yourself, how will you be able to do it for your brother? If you've not done it for the church, sorry, for your family, how would you be able to do it for the church? If you cannot handle your family, if you cannot manage your time, if you cannot just be with your family, just like even teach your children in the ways of the Lord, how do you expect to impact on the congregation? And congregation, they will not lie you. Church, you will find the most honest people, the most brutal people, you will find liars, and they will tell you to your face that they don't want you because they feel like if your children now grow up to become wayward, they feel like Baba could not even control his family. Why do we think we'll be able to lead us from
I think that's why I thank God for my father, my parents. Like, despite the fact that there's no quantity of time, the little time we have, like, I think this 1 week that we had, my father didn't like sat me down and we're talking, we're having conversations. Like, my father like uses that opportunity, like he picks out that opportunity. My father, see, I feel like I am so visible to my father because he sees, like, sir, please. So like. This down to my hair, my dress. My daddy like he believes that I'm down to everything. Like my father like really wants to be involved. I don't want to be involved in my life, and I'm actually a very close person. It's actually like my parents actually said it's what you want joy. Like what is what joy wants you to see that you see, and that's me. Like I'm actually a very close person because I went to boarding school, and when you go to boarding school.
But it's kids. Now, so for me, I feel like you cannot give what you don't have. If you cannot at least manage the little God that's doing now, your family are not little, but like little in numbers now. If you cannot manage the little God of the family of 4, family of 5, you cannot manage them. You want to manage a church of
10,000 people. 4.
God will not let you embarrass him. So maybe that's why the church is not even good. Maybe. Now another thing is that I heard of a notion that as taking care of other people, as I'm taking care of other people's children,
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
else will be taking care of my children.
Yeah,
That notion is totally wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not totally wrong, but they don't just understand it.
The concept,
they don't understand the concept. That's another thing.
It's not
You-
totally wrong.
you
have the responsibility
To take care of your children.
And then you can do extra by taking care of other people's children. But that doesn't mean you should.
exactly.
Yes, not be a negative.
They will
That
not
is
be
your bad
still.
influencing your children.
It's not taking care.
Don't your children one side.
Yeah, so
or your
when
family
people
one
take that
side.
notion, they actually neglect the children that, oh, I'm working for the Lord. And
Somebody else
teaching
Lord-
other
the
kids.
Lord will work for
The Lord will also provide someone like me for my children.
The Lord that
they are
gave you
university.
those children.
And the scripture says that children are gifts from God. So if God gives you a gift, are you not supposed to
take care
cherish
of
it?
your
Your choice.
Like that Bible that say when if you are faithful in small,
Yes,
you will.
yes.
So how do you that are not faithful in your small? You want to
small,
go
yeah.
okay that
The
play.
I feel that the family of a man is his primary ministry.
Yes.
So the fact that you have a church somewhere, anywhere, if I have 15 billion branch, that your family is your first branch. So whatever you do to the ones outside, you should first do it to the ones inside. In fact, the most intimate part of God is the fatherhood of God. That is where Christians lie on. You get. So if Christians depend on the fatherhood of God, you that's not a father, and that's going to be the God of your children. You get. So it's better you express your fatherhood as a parent, even though you're a pastor. And this cuts across even ministry and all of that. There are parents that take their work above their children. They say, I'm not paying your school fees.
But they're not working out.
I give you
No, it's my auntie that will pay it.
I don't feel like these things are even like work of the devil, because the devil knows that the primary thing of like a godly family is to produce godly children. So he finds ways to break it. That's why you see like a lot of broken mold, because he knows that the products of those families will not necessarily be godly children. So so these are things that you need to do, like you affect, you take your work, you're always busy, you come home by 11, you sleep 4 o'clock, you're out, your children never see you, they are never there, you don't spend time with them.
They can be found.
Unless they fall into sexual sin, they fall into this one, they fall into, and you're not
And they
there.
cannot tell you.
No, wait. What time do they even have to tell you? If you are coming home by 11, you are leaving by 4, school bus come and pick your children.
By 6.
See,
Or
like,
even
it's just
body
a
house.
lot.
Oh God, I
I feel like some pastors should even have the boldness.
This even goes down to just
normal.
parents
Yeah.
themselves without even like being pastors.
But you know some pastors have like seniors or superintendents that want them to always be in the office.
Yes.
Some pastors, some junior pastors to have the boldness to tell those pastors that it's their family that they need to take care of. So it's first of all their family before the church of God.
Because the family is the church.
Yes, they have to strike a
Samuel.
balance.
So I wanted to add. Well, the idea of this whole stuff concept is not. I'm not saying that's what I do. I'm just trying to make it clear. Because some people used to take things. The idea is not to defame or shame pastors or
Yes.
exactly. The idea is there's this thing that we have to have in mind that children are like seeds that are sown. A bad tree will only bring forth bad fruit. And then a seed that is sown, this child is starting to grow up to be a parent to one. So if you didn't nurture the child well, if you didn't give it enough time, quality time, if you didn't teach them in the way of the Lord as you ought to have, if they don't go to know Christ, these people are going to become parents that will still raise their own children. Exactly, and then the cycle repeats itself. The family is like a cell. Those are medical and it's like a cell, right? It's multiple families that come together to actually make a nation. Nigeria wouldn't be like this. We keep on saying it's a government, right? But we forget that those governments, the people in those seats were products from
A family,
family. And what makes you the kind of person you are is the kind of circumstances you grow under, the things that formulated your childhood, the things that raised you, the guidance that you have, things like that. So all those things really matter in making an individual who it is. So once a parent does not do what is actually obligated to you, then in a way it's still affecting multiple people's lives, not just
Sorry. Preacher. Sorry, I just wanted to make a joke out of what you said. I just remembered one thing. Watch was like a cartoon that Disney and maybe Nigeria. Lagos, Island, everything. So like the bad character, the evil person in the movie, he's a politician that like kidnaps children and say he kidnaps highlanders, to be specific, like people that live on the island in Lagos. He kidnaps them. He kidnaps them and like he requests huge amounts. He requests huge amounts from the parents. And when he was like explaining to the girl that they kidnapped, like the main character they kidnapped, was like, it is his right. Like he suffered when he was small, and now he has gotten here. That those Highlanders are stingy. I'm like, it is poor. It's poor. Yeah, sorry. Poor man mentality, and it's his family. Because I'm very sure his mom has telling him, when you get rich, collect money from those Highlanders. It's maybe what they like. That's why we actually as parents, because me I'm saying all what I'm learning here, so I'm going to put it into my parenting in the nearest future. I'm going to, because my parents are wonderful, they are lovely people, but there are some things that I wish they did or they could have done for me. So me, I'm going to do better, and like I feel like that should be another reason why we should like whoever is going to watch this video, and like that should be another reason why you should really take this video serious, because you may be laughing about it, but it's actually a very serious back. Yeah.
So as we record that's one man came back inside the studio. So yeah, our next question, let's not waste time. Were there unrealistic expectations from you as a pastor's kid?
Okay. Were there unrealistic expectations from pastor's kids? In my case, not really. Although there was one peculiar situation. Yeah. The major expectation that I think people have of pastor's kids is perfection. They expect, no spots, white clothes, no blemish anyway, that kind of vibe. Perfection in all aspects. Like, we're not humans and we cannot make mistakes. Even as Christians, we're striving towards perfection. We're not perfect in some sense. Anyways, the example I wanted to give back, one beloved Sunday morning around 10:30. I was drumming as respected pastors. I understand.
All
I was drumming
instruments.
Yes,
at least one.
Then the daughters and choir. At least one instrument for the boys.
I was
the
there.
choir for the
I was
girls.
playing drum. I think it was worship. I think the worship before the sermon. Then the reverend climbed the altar. And I don't know if it was the first or second thing he said after. Okay, I think he prayed first, but that prayer before the sermon. Then before he went on sermon, he just turned back to my direction. And I was like, which day will you get? Yes. Okay, we're not that much in our church, but still. Do you get it? I've been playing drum for. I've been playing drum for about 10 years now. I get the idea. I was self-taught. Nobody taught me. So the growth is supposed to occur, but then at least cut me some slack. But give me authority from the altar, anointed upstage. It was nice. So I think it's just nice. I don't want anything. It's forgotten.
Okay. What things are
passed away? But that's one thing.
With that perfection thing, I think while growing up, I always want to be like perfect in the case of when we were doing Sunday school, we have an exam. I always want to talk, right? Because I don't want my parents to talk. Any game, I just want to talk. But like, no. My parents have always been helping me. So I thought that was my parents' mentality that if I wasn't taught, they would school me or something. Until when I was in senior secondary school, we did Bible sword. All over like we were like this in front of the other, we did Bible sword. Ladies and gentlemen, I got 0. Like calling, okay, this assembly, and they representation got 17. This was a reach my turn.
The zero.
And my own branch was the head
Host.
branch.
Oh,
Yes, was the host.
Jesus.
I was not the and I'm not the pastor's daughter. They said zero.
Zero.
I thought my dad, I looked into my dad's eyes. My dad just looked like he was not even concerned about anything. He didn't even say anything when we got home. I was so surprised. And then that was when I knew that, okay, this man knows that this I'm human. And I can at least make mistake and not open any scripture.
Friends, it was just your
It
mind.
was just
Yeah.
the congregation that I was like, maybe my parents are also thinking this way.
Yeah. Like she said, is that sometimes the unrealistic expectations are ideas that have been inflicted into your own mind. So subtly, you have these unrealistic expectations of yourself first, rather than other people having those expectations of you. I also understand the fact that it's very true that people have unrealistic expectations of pastors children. Unrealistic expectations of pastors children, in the sense that there are times that people expect that just because you are a pastor's child, that there are certain levels of administrative roles or administrative part that you must take in church. In simple layman terms, people just expect that you take over the church.
Why?
Does it work that way?
No.
It does not. So there are people that often just believe that this guy is necessary. It's not family business. It's not chieftain. It's not chieftaincy. So there are people that expect that from you. There are also people that expect that because your father has a church, you can't seek discipleship. Christian discipleship in outside churches.
Yes.
So there's also the expectation that your father is a pastor. Why are you attending?
Why not
mention
this
some
conference?
Why are you attending some churches? Why are you attending some churches and all those things like that? And it's not true because the tailor of discipleship for everyone is very different. It's fashioned after what God wants to do to you, for you, and through you. So your father may not necessarily be in the best position to do that for you. Sometimes he's pastor, like she said. So sometimes he's Femi Lazarus.
If you know what they call pastor.
If you know who they call pastor, so sometimes it's Femi Lazarus, sometimes all those people like that. So yeah.
So like my father, like, I think we're talking about something that let's record. My father looked at me and like, you don't want to go to this church, my church. He said, between me and you, to be sincere, I don't want to go because like I'm sorry, I feel like the longer I stay in that church, the longer I see the flaws, and I won't be comfortable when I know that behind my except I find another church under that same church, that like under that same ministry that is, because me I feel like, because if you are spending a lot of time with elders. And I was like, there was one Sunday I was like, I can't wait to go back to school.
And that's a weird statement.
I can't wait to go back to school. Because like we're talking about it was Sunday school and we're talking about something and they were all looking at it from the point of the elders. I said, where do I stand in this conversation? Because I'm like the only
And the back.
where do I start? Because if I make one comment, like 50 will follow. I said, okay. So like I feel I'm definitely going to change my church. I'm sorry.
I understand that there are many times too that I found out that like a lot of elderly churches, like they put it, teach the scriptures from experiences. Why? Because they have a larger share of that rather than more doctrinal backgrounds, more theological backgrounds. So they teach a lot of the scriptures from their experiences. So you hear it is like, okay, bye, Sherry. That's it in life. You can't just be giving people things anyhow.
And they were saying one thing on the radio about the story of a woman. It's the story of that woman who used to preach.
Yes.
Not the Bible. Some people, they don't even open the scripture. They just say stories. But I'm like, I'm like, can we open the Bible?
Can we just read the Bible? Can we read the Bible?
Come on, you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like one unrealistic expectations from pastors' kids is that once I'm born, like once they give birth to me like this, I am born again, I am saved. I had, excuse me, sorry, but I was not saved when I was born. Miss Flash, I was born a sinner.
That's not salvation works.
Salvation does not work that when they give back to me, okay, because my mom is a pastor.
Your mom is a pastor.
Okay, I'm a pastor, I'm a
You can't
pastor.
give birth to sinners.
Exactly. Positive plus positive plus positive is positive.
Oh, they be negative now.
Exactly.
They got me, they
Newsflash, some of us did not know God even when we were at home. Some of us got to school before we knew God. Some of us knew God religiously.
Yeah.
And then got to know God as our father when we got to school. Now, a lot of people feel like, oh, since she is a pastor's child. And another thing is that they compare a lot. There is this comparison. Thank God for my life. I did not really experience that comparison. Like I've heard of people that will say, oh, maybe there is a fellow pastor, like maybe Ayokule and Shema pastors. Ayokule will not be comparing his son to Shema's son. No, we stop.
Which kind of crew?
Like
Not even pastor's children.
It's bad.
even generally, don't compare your children.
It's bad.
Don't compare yourself to anybody.
Like I feel like
Another
these
thing that
fingers are
you
not
compare to
equal.
other people's children too.
Yes.
Like, Ọlọ́run ṣe tí mi ò blow my pants.
I feel like another expectation is our mode of dressing.
That's for baggy jeans, man.
Can you see what I'm wearing? See what I'm wearing?
And your parents will not have you.
See, I remember this one is not really a bad story. I started wearing rings. My mom, when she saw the ring, she did not really see anything. What does she want to see? I'll see it. I think my dad even saw it too. So I was talking to all of my pastors. I was talking to like my mentor, Sha. So he now asked me that have my parents seen my ring? I said yes. He said the first said, has my mom seen it? I said yes. No, but my mom is the like chiller one maybe. I said, my daddy seen it. Yes. I said, has my daddy seen it? I said yes, I think so. You don't say anything. You don't say anything again. I feel like another reason why they tend to say that is because once they know that your parents approve of some certain things, they tend to quiet down, even though it is not in all circumstances. Some circumstances they feel like you're breeding your children to do this, to do the evil, correct them,
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah? When they say that your parents are maybe they don't complain about your rings, about your jewelries, about you wearing trousers, they tend to feel like your parents know less of God. They feel like, oh, they're already backsliding.
Yes.
So my father is black.
Yes, fine. Like, can't I decide? Because there are some things that, see, your days are different from my days. What they used to wear in 1984 is not what they're wearing in 2020.
My mind, you know, like we're opening.
Yes, we are not even opening our bodies.
Okay, I've stood up. I don't stand up again. But like, there's some beautiful dresses. There's some beautiful clothes that one will wear and one will look exquisite. but no, you must not wear your Mary Amaka skirt. You want but don't now try to
make the skirts dey sweep ground
don't try to condemn people that do not wear it. And then I was like, Jesus. So what Jesus that gave his life for us? Please, I'm and sometimes it's even cultural. If you go to Scotland, which countries are the men wear skirts?
Is this California?
No, that's the question.
Are we in Scotland?
So try to, and some people is their mindset. Like some people have very, 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 very archaic mindset. Like it's to the back, to the extreme. Please, try and develop.
And one thing about the dressing, now don't take it to the extreme.
Yes.
Don't expose your body and say Christ died for us.
Seriously.
Don't condemn it.
See, it's only the heart.
It's only hard.
The heart
Please come out.
That's this time. You want to open the heart. You want to show the heart. Show the heart.
Let me tell you something. Men can see your breast. We can see the heart. We can see your labs. We can see the heart. Not your heart. God sees the heart. Don't say, don't condemn me. Don't
You want to show them what God sees.
Say
True. See, I used to say this thing that Christianity is a life and it has a lifestyle. So if you live the life, if you have the life, that's the life of Christ in you. People will see the lifestyle. So we don't need to ask, are you really a Christian? We will see it from how you are. So fashion, my dear. Yes.
Use it. Cover up.
My dear.
Sometimes indecency is even very unattractive. It's irritating.
What is sometimes all the time?
Like God,
I'm a royal priesthood.
a holy nation.
I feel like the reason why these people that we say they have kick back mindset is that they found out that they have a method that saves you. They have a safeguard that covers you. Like we're talking about the extremes of dressing nice, where some people now take it to the extreme, exposing their bodies and all those things. Is that they found out that with this system and structure that they have, if you stick with it, you will really almost never get to the other side. That's what you notice, that those Mary Amaka people that are wearing the skirts that is sweeping the ground, you find out that most of them don't get to the extent where they engage people on those kind of immoral levels and all those things like that. So they don't get to the extreme of the other side. So it safeguards them. So we understand to an extent why.
Every time.
Every time. So, but to an extent, it's a safeguard. It's a safe confinement that actually works to an extent. Is that we understand, we on our level now, we have a bit more revelation in a lot of things. We have a bit more knowledge in a lot of things. So the way we talk with some things, some things are very different. So that's why we understand.
So I feel one of the reason why there's unrealistic expectations because people or church members take the expectation they have for the parents and put it on the children. Because your father has gone, my father, which is the pastor, has gone through a lot of experience and he knows a lot of things, so he will not do certain things in certain ways. But me, I'm just coming up, I'm 3 years old, I'm running around the church. Leave me alone. Let me run. Your father will not be running. My father will not run. People take the expectations they have for the parents and put it on the children and think because the parents are this way, so the child, you see, there's one day in my church, I think my brother just came back from Yankee, so he was talking to one girl, one of his old friends. So as they were discussing, I just saw some women discussing, see my pastor, what you about me? So you should not talk.
Sorry, you're not married. You're not married.
Because we were close, so you know that seeing you, all those kind of discussions. So I'm like, please don't take the expectations. I'm not saying you should not have expectations for the children. We are godly people. Our parents are going to raise us well, but at least they have more experience than we do. And we are still coming up in the experience part, but don't take the expectations you have for our parents.
So the next question is for the imposter, the non-pastor's kids.
Oh my God.
Yes. So the question is, after being friends with pastor's kids, what do you think about us?
So what do I think about it? They are saints. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Can you imagine?
Smaller than a mustard.
You have sense small. The entirety of your brain is
Okay, I said that I previously had a view of pastors who have been called they have changed that perspective.
Thank you.
And to be honest, like if for example, like I see, let's say, if I see, let me say, I don't believe right now. My first instinct or the person is like a pastor's child. I will not say, it's not like, I don't necessarily say, oh, this is like pastor's child and the person is, yes, like it's just registers as this is someone that needs Christ, not like, oh, this is someone that's pastor's child and has fallen from the pedestal that you understand.
This is part of destruction.
So that's not like my mindset anymore. Like I just see the person as who the person is as
a bad person.
It's a very bad thing.
As a person, please, I just need my hair, not necessarily as okay. I don't place like I don't necessarily have this high pedestal that I
And it's almost
place.
pastel.
Yes, that I place them on anymore. You get so. I'm grateful that view has changed, and some have changed it for me. So I'm not gonna.
I also feel like one thing that I've noticed now is that I feel like is that the demography of people that feel like pastors kids are bad, each side. A few young people, like I said, is that knowledge is formative, is transient. It changes over the years, over the generations. So I found out that over time now, that more young people don't have those ideas because it's not a good idea, it's not solid, it's not true. And over time you find out that because it's going through over the generations, there are a bit of people correcting. Now our children will automatically, they will never even think about this kind of thing. Like if you are bad, you are just a bad person. Because you don't give your life to Christ. And it's not because you're a pastor's child, it's just because you're not bad.
Yes.
And
You're just
no,
not saying
they
that.
don't help your life.
Yes, amen.
It's not a pastor's kid thing.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So,
Alright.
saving the best for the last. Do you love being a pastor's kid?
Hey.
Baby. Oh yeah, expose yourself.
Judgment Day.
Your father can see this video.
Personally.
From our host.
Our host.
I
She will answer
She
for
said
us.
it.
She was asking for. I love it. I love being a pastor's kid because I don't know.
She likes
I think it has kept my head in order. It has made me know that Shinami, there are some things you cannot do. Not because of anything, but because you're about to tarnish your father, your mother's image, your family's image. So I don't know. I had it in my head. I feel like it kept me on the right track. And then the cake, the food,
God.
yes.
We can't stress this.
I love Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving service.
The best.
Birthday cake.
Now we dey chop me. Sorry.
This is so important.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Like this funny thing, like my younger brother, like one night in one Holy Communion service.
Your brother knows what he's doing.
You was forgiving. It was just 1 year. I was stressed because I know the next thing they'll say. Joy. I was so stressed. We just went to the back of the office of the pastor. Bro, they helped himself.
They shop Jesus.
They drink the wine and eat.
My guy.
But especially during baby dedication and
So when they dedicated,
we don't need to go to their house.
No, in fact,
We don't go to their house.
sometimes you don't even need to go. Sometimes you don't need to go.
You will just reach your house. Your cooler automatically go and
Cooler like this, 2 4. Can you imagine?
Personally, we don't eat the food.
So you don't enjoy the cake they ate?
No.
Hey, I'm so sorry.
You know, like there are sometimes the witches in the church. It's like that. But I think me, as I grew more spiritually, the witches
You know how
so I ate the cakes anyway. So
For me, I
the cakes, the
enjoy
rice, bring your witchcraft, we eat it.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because
We are waiting.
We are waiting for you. We kill witches.
when they should come.
For a living, sha.
Please, I'm begging
because
you.
I think there was no lack of time. So some of these experiences that they've shared, I cannot relate because and also because all these food people are saying special. Me every Sunday I dey chop. Every
Please, every Sunday.
What's
your church
They provide food for pastors every Sunday.
I thought we're the ones eating the meat of the church. You are the
That's why there's difference inside.
you know she has body more than the rest of us.
What is
That's aside. Like aside the food, there's just, and I also feel like there's a respect that comes with it. There is a respect. I remember one. It was this year or last year. I can't remember. It was family Sunday. So everybody was supposed to sit down with their family, children with the pastors and everything. So my dad and my mom, I think my brother and I were our uncle, so we came with him. I can't remember, but I know that my dad and my mom were not in church at that time. So my brother and I just sat down at the back, like waiting, because we could not stay in front when our parents were not there. So we just sat at the back, and then the protocol told us that we should wait until our dad comes. So when our papa and mama came, we followed them to the front, majestically. So there's a respect that comes with it, and I like it because sometimes say, this one a pastor became no near him, so that kind of thing.
The things that I would say that, because like in life, everything has advantages and advantages. So first off is that one of the things that I enjoyed being a pastor's kid is the pressures that come with being a pastor's kid. Like we said, is that there's so many expectations and all these things. We find out that us having to subject ourselves under those certain conditions brought us to where we are today. So like pressure is what makes the damage. So the pressure may not necessarily be the best condition, but then we made the best out of us. So it was good for us. It was not necessarily good to us at the time, but it was good for us at the end of the day. So I enjoyed that, and also with the fact that the way they say that he honors the or receives the prophets, we receive the prophets of God, we base the prophets, receive the prophets of God. Like she said, is that there's certain honors that come with your father that is allotted to you just because you are his son or you are his child. And what that does is not just the fact that you enjoy the honor and people are kneeling out for you and giving you rice and cake. What it does is that it influences your mind to receiving honor from people. So there are certain places you will get to now, there are certain places you will get to. And because of the way you are seeing how they address his father and how his father reacts to them, when he ever gets to that kind of situation, he's not shocked that why they greeting me. He's used to it. It's not something that is alien to him. It's normal. So if he becomes a prophet now, as he's going to become a pastor now, I tried it first.
Watch out for pastor.
3rd of May. So when he becomes a pastor, those kind of things like that, and by the way,
Bishop.
This one is Bishop.
Please, let's be very careful. By the way, is that about 50% of pastors' children eventually become ministers. Not necessarily pastors, but ministers. One way or the other, we tend to work for God. And when you do that, there are certain honor. And this one is a minister. This one is a minister.
What's your stress?
No, you're a minister. Okay. So, like I said, is that there are many honors that will now come with being in this certain position, and then we understand how to relate with them and how to work with them.
So, in conclusion, before we conclude, thank you all for fellowshipping with us.
Opinions.
There's no opinion. Thank you all for fellowshipping with us. Thank you all for coming.
Our hosts don't push us.
I love you all so much.
Wow.
So in conclusion, because Aaron's children went bad, because Eli's children went bad, because Samuel's children went bad, does not mean they are not prophets' kids, they are not pastors' kids that turn out good. Excuse me, I'm still talking. We are great examples. We are good examples by the grace of God. Pastors' kids that turned out fine.
You don't brag.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe.
Other videos, you gotta see when the video is.
We are the ones. Okay, wait. We are the biggest. Everybody say it now. We are the biggest. Everybody. he's a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
Means you all are pastor's kids.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Bye guys.
Bye.